Hey everyone, Erin Moss here. So if you've come to this point, you've probably already watched my short 15-minute, like summed up version of restorative sleep and how it affects your immune system and your brain health. So this is the longer version and it is scripted and I do have a PowerPoint to help me kind of follow along because there's a lot of really cool details, but some of this you may already be familiar with. So if you are, I will not take offense if you decide to fast forward through this video to get to the good stuff, like learning about the individual components of the Serenity system, or maybe so feel free to fast forward. At the end of the presentation, I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into how doTERRA sources their essential oils through co-impact sourcing, which is very near and dear to my heart because as dairy farmers ourselves, I know how hard it is to produce a product and try to sell it on the marketplace. And so I just applaud doTERRA for their co-impact sourcing efforts. And then also, going a little bit further into some of the other things you may not know about doTERRA that you may find really interesting. So feel free to watch that at the end. And then of course, at the end, I also cover how you can get that 25% discount if you choose to try this system yourself. And all you have to do is reach out to the person that shared this video with you. And feel free to find me on social media. I'm super friendly, happy to chit chat with anyone, and I can also help you as well. So with that, before I start my presentation, I always like to let some of my essential oil friends know, like when doing a presentation, two of my favorite essential oils, and they're in roller bottle form, which means they're pre-diluted and just easy to apply. One is Shinrin Yoku, and this one is all trees, and I love being outside, and so sitting in front of the computer for an hour doing a video can be very taxing emotionally for me. So I love the Shinrin. It just smells, it's called forest bathing. It just kind of makes you feel like you're in the middle of the woods and totally relaxed. So love that. My other favorite one is actually part of the kids line and it's called Thinker. So as I try to stare at a screen and, read off all of these notes, my brain gets tired. And so I love the Thinker blend. I rub it on my temples. I rub a little under my nose. And the Shinrin, I like to rub on the back of my neck and I actually put it on my wrists. So those are two essential oils I'm starting before I'm using prior to starting this Zoom. So I just thought I would share that with you because I know some of you find that interesting. So now I'm going to share my screen, make sure I share my sound because we do have a few videos in here. Bring up the PowerPoint, put it in presentation mode. So again, thank you for joining me. And I know I touched base a little bit on my history with doTERRA. And for those of you that don't know me, I've been with doTERRA almost 11 years. I've been teaching for 10 years, using essential oils since my one son was a year old. And so my first experience with essential oils was actually getting to see how an essential oil could work faster than an antibiotic. And maybe that's not FDA compliant, but that was my first experience. And it blew my mind that it could work so quickly. And so I dove into research. I dove into trying lots of different companies. So I have my experience and testimonies that I would love to share with you outside of this class. So let's move on to the next slide. I can hear my son talking in the background, so hopefully he closes his door so you don't have to listen to him playing his video game. And then for those of you, I forgot to mention in the beginning, I will, if you would like the download for the class presentation to take notes, just let your person know. I'm going to try to make that easily accessible as I put this long video into a spot where you can easily access it. So wellness pyramid. So pyramid isn't my favorite word because for a lot of people, it's like, pyramid scheme. Okay, this has nothing to do with a pyramid scheme, but there is a really funny video on YouTube if you want to watch this cartoon about pyramid schemes. It's hilarious. But anyway, doTERRA has created a wellness lifestyle where you have just like if you were building a tower, the bottom is the stability, and then you're building on top of the stability. And if you pull out one of those, it can fall. So I'm just going to read off the notes instead of ad-libbing because you're probably going to get more out of the notes than listening to me. So some of you might recognize this picture. For those of you who are new, this is the doTERRA Wellness Pyramid. It is created with foundational practice principles in mind that better on each other or build on each other. Think of your health like stacking blocks. If you remove the foundation, it all topples. Nutrition, digestion, movement, and metabolism impact all other aspects of your health and well-being. These wellness principles are the same lifestyle factors. I lost my place for a second because I was making sure that I was recording. So nutrition, so that's your bottom one in the green. Every system in your body requires adequate nourishment to function, which is why it is important to eat a diet that is rich in proteins, vitamins, and minerals. Digestion, which refers to gut health. Your gut health impacts nutrient absorption, as well as your immune system and mental wellness. Movement, so exercise supports your body in many ways, including a healthy immune system. Your metabolism is your body's way of regulating and managing energy. Sleep, so adequate sleep impacts your health in so many ways, including hormone and metabolic wellness. Stress management is key to short-term and long-term health and quality of life. Exposure. So this is the one nobody really wants to talk about, the reducing toxicity. Studies have previously shown environmental exposure to pollutants can affect almost every bodily system. Like I said, nobody wants to address that one. Anyway, wellness. Oh, I got to switch slides. Hang on. You can tell that I don't do this a ton. So doTERRA is all about proactive, natural ways of addressing root concerns. Temporary or superficial solutions are not enough. The lifestyle choices to make each day are the foundations of your wellness. Your body is generally a reflection of your lifestyle. doTERRA has created an easy-to-follow wellness path with products to support you at any point in your journey, and I'm here today to help guide you on your way. Today, we're going to focus on rest and managing stress level of the pyramid. So you can see in there that there's a couple products you might, have noticed from that video that I already did. So moving on, 3 needs for sleep. If you want to be healthy, you have 3 jobs every day. Eat well, move your body, and sleep. Out of those 3, sleep should be the easiest, right? Well, it should be, but a lot of people struggle with sleep, whether that stems from not getting enough of it, having trouble falling asleep, or feeling restless and constantly waking. With the hectic schedules we all tend to keep these days, it's no wonder people struggle with sleep. We rush from appointment to appointment, shuttle kids from here to there, and spend the day looking at screens, just trying to fit everything in. Then, when it's time to rest, it's hard to wind down. Good sleep is one of the most essential elements of a healthy life. Unfortunately, sleep is one of the most undervalued parts of modern schedules. In this busy world, it's all too easy to sacrifice sleep to the pursuits like work and family responsibilities, social time, and even technology distractions. You might be thinking, so what if I sacrifice a little sleep to other areas of my life? I'll feel a little sluggish or groggy the next day, but there's so much to do, accomplish, and experience instead of sleeping a little longer. It may seem like a lot to spend a third of your life sleeping, but the consequences of cutting your shut-eye time short are a little more significant than just feeling tired. Sleep deprivation has been linked to several health challenges. Research shows the time you spend sleeping is crucial to brain function, emotional well-being, and other vital health areas. During sleep, your body is hard at work rebuilding and repairing itself. It's mending blood vessels, balancing hormones, and maintaining or even boosting the immune system. Your brain processes the events of the day and prepares itself for another day of learning. When you cut the rest process short, your body can't properly recuperate, causing problems in the long run. Sleep even impacts apoptosis of the cells, helping them adhere to a normal life cycle. Inadequate sleep over time raises your risk for chronic health problems. It affects how well you think, react, work, learn, and get along with others. It affects your hormones, your reproductive system, your heart and circulatory system, metabolism, emotional response, respiratory system, and immune system. Research suggests 1 night of 4 hours of sleep results in a 70% reduction in natural killer cells, an important cell line in your immunity or your immune system. The good news is because sleep has such a broad, comprehensive impact on health, adequate rest quantities and quality will support improvement in all of those areas. So how much sleep? You now know why you need sleep. So let's talk about how much sleep you really need. Generally, the hours of sleep you need decrease with age. Sleep supports proper growth and development. So babies, unsurprisingly, need the most of it, followed by children and teens. So here's the breakdown. Newborns need 14 to 17 hours of sleep. Infants from 4 months to a year still need about 12 to 16 hours. Toddlers need about 11 to 14 hours, and preschoolers need at least 10 to 13 hours. As you've probably noticed, these are ranges and have quite a bit of overlap in between them. The need for sleep only goes down slightly with each age group. If you have children, pay attention to their cues and behaviors for hints on whether they are getting adequate sleep. The next age group, 6 to 12, needs between 9 and 12 hours. And it was funny when I was reading that slide, or my son was listening to this, he's like, what? I don't need 12 hours of sleep. It's so funny. Anyway, teens should get a solid 8 to 10 hours between them, or 8 to 10 hours each night. Now for adults who need a minimum of 7 hours of sleep each night. However, sleep needs do vary. They don't vary that there are some people who just don't need a lot of sleep. That's a myth. No one only needs 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night. However, sleep needs can vary in that there are also a range for adults. And you may need more than 7 hours a night. Some people need 8 or 9 hours of sleep, while others may feel completely rested with a consistent 7. And I vary too, just depends. Your sleep needs will also vary on activity levels. For example, if you're participating in a vigorous exercise training, you'll likely notice an increase in your need for sleep compared to when your activity levels are more moderate. Adjust accordingly so your body gets the recovery it needs. Older adults who are in their 60s, 70s, and beyond will likely notice a decrease in their need for sleep with age. Usually just 7 to 8 hours a night is sufficient. So sleep hygiene. What does sleep hygiene mean? It refers to healthy habits, behaviors, and environmental factors you can adjust to assist with a good night's sleep. It refers to the bedroom environment and daily routines that promote consistent, uninterrupted sleep. It includes things like keeping a stable sleep schedule, making your bedroom comfortable and free of distractions, following a relaxing bedtime routine, and more. Some sleeping problems are caused by bad habits reinforced over years or even decades. Let's talk about good sleep hygiene practices. I'm going to make sure I get my papers all lined up here so I don't goof them up. So as you go through these steps, as you go through these sleep hygiene suggestions, think about your own situation and what may be useful to you. You can tailor your sleep hygiene practices to You can tailor your sleep hygiene practices to your unique needs. Ultimately, the goal is to make it easier to sleep soundly through the night and wake up rested. Be consistent. Follow a consistent sleep schedule. Varying your bedtime or morning wake up time can hinder your body's ability to adjust to a stable circadian rhythm. One study suggests inconsistent sleep, where a person goes to bed at an inconsistent time or wakes up at different times every day, can disturb the body's process of regulating inflammation during sleep. If you're worried, that means you need to fall asleep at the same precise time each night. Don't be. Think of it more like a window of time in which you should try to fall asleep. If you start getting ready for bed at the same time each night, you'll likely fall into a natural rhythm and fall asleep within a reasonable, consistent window. If you're wondering about wake up times and weekends, it's best to also maintain a steady window. As fun as sleeping in on the weekends can be, if your weekend wake up time is drastically different than your weekday, it'll throw off your rhythm. Besides, when you wake up at the same time every day, you'll find an extra 15 to 30 minutes on the weekend feels like a lot longer than it is. Another thing to be consistent with is a nightly routine or ritual. Consider listening to soothing music, doing some light stretching, or writing in a journal. I love brain dumping on a piece of paper and just getting it all out of my head before I go to bed. Some people like to take a warm shower or bath before bed. You might also like to incorporate prayer or meditation. Reading can also make a great addition. Just make sure it's not on your phone to avoid the artificial light. Not to mention the notifications and distractions that inevitably pop up. A lamp with low warm light and a physical book are best. Getting ready for sleep is also an excellent time to diffuse essential oils or massage them into your neck and feet. So how about setting the mood? Now, let's talk about your sleep environment. Your bedroom setting absolutely affects your sleep quality. Consider lighting, sound, and temperature. Lower the temperature in your home so it's a little cooler at night than during the day. If you have a little light that twinkle or blink at you in your room, you might cover them with electrical tape to help keep your bedroom nice and dark. With sound, some people find quiet white noise from a fan or app helps them sleep. Others don't find either option helpful, so figure out what works best for you. Think about your bedding as well. You spend a third of your life sleeping, so it's worth investing in a supportive mattress that works well for your body. Comfortable, breathable sheets and bedding can also make a huge difference. Exposure to natural light. I feel like I missed a slide, or I missed a... Okay, so exposure to natural light, especially early in the day, helps reinforce the strongest circadian cue. Then, before bed, limit light. Artificial light exposure at night can interfere with circadian rhythm. So experts advise dimming the lights and putting down electronic devices into the lead up to bedtime. Activity during the day supports your internal clock and makes it easier to fall asleep at night. The one caveat to is avoid heavy exercise too close to bedtime. Light walking or general movement before bed is fine, but a vigorous workout too late in the evening can push back when your body is ready to fall asleep. Many adults consume caffeine daily, with many relying on its energizing effects to enhance their mood and optimize their performance. Caffeine is found naturally in many plants, including coffee beans, tea leaves, cacao pods, and cola nuts. Synthetic caffeine is also added to medications and energy drinks. While caffeine is a common tool to promote wakefulness in the morning and ward off sleepiness during the day, it comes with a potential side effect, including jitteriness, headaches, nervousness. It can also interfere with sleep, especially if consumed too late in the day. Since stimulants like caffeine can keep you awake and throw off the natural balance between sleep and wakefulness, consider reducing your caffeine intake, especially after lunch. Everyone is different, but if you're having trouble sleeping at night, you should try completely avoiding caffeine later in the day. Another thing to avoid before bed is heavy meals and spicy foods. Meals that are too late or too heavy or spicy before bed can lead to heartburn and other digestive discomfort that may make up difficult to sleep. Now that you've learned about why sleep is so foundational to health, how much of it you need, and some basic sleep hygiene practices, it's time to talk about natural sleep solutions. Many essential oils can provide a relaxing, calming environment that's conducive to sleep. Soft floral aromas, and I love the florals, like lavender and Roman chamomile, are grounding, centering scents, like cedarwood and sandalwood. Even better than any single oil, doTERRA offers a combination of pure essential oils called doTERRA's Serenity Restful Blend. It's a beautiful blend of lavender, cedarwood, coriander, ylang ylang, marjoram, Roman chamomile, vetiver, and sandalwood essential oils with tonka bean and vanilla absolute. This product creates a unique, powerful, and effective aromatic experience. Its soothing scent creates a calm, tranquil atmosphere, perfect for using as part of an evening routine or bedtime ritual. doTERRA Serenity can be used both topically and aromatically. Here are some ways you can use it to support bedtime in your life and home. Diffusing is one of the simplest methods for enjoying the aromatic benefits of the doTERRA Serenity. As the sun sets or during your bedtime prep, diffuse a few drops for a relaxing aroma. You can also enjoy the essential oil blend aromatic benefits by putting a drop in your palm, rubbing your hands together, and inhaling the sweet scent with a few slow, steady breaths. Try this as you're climbing into bed just before your head hits the pillow, or right as you transition into the start of your evening routine. Set the tone for the next stage of winding down. And I think that's a great idea. Like, put a couple drops in your diffuser in your kitchen or dining room or living room. You'd be shocked at how that starts getting everybody ready for bed. Using doTERRA Serenity aromatically this way can be an extremely helpful with midnight wake-ups, whether it's you or your child. And we'll even talk about pets at the end of the class. With the quieting sense of the doTERRA Serenity can create a gentle, relaxing reset to prepare for drifting back to sleep. Topically, you might massage doTERRA Serenity into your neck and shoulders and or feet before bed. That's also a great routine to establish with a restless child at bedtime. Enjoy a quiet conversation together about the day as you gently rub doTERRA Serenity into each little foot. doTERRA Serenity Restful Complex soft gels are a natural sleep solution for the occasional sleepiness when taken internally. While doTERRA Serenity isn't meant for internal use, that's the oil blend. These soft gels don't contain the full version of the essential oil blend. They do, however, have lavender essential oil, which is known for its ability to relax and calm the mind when taken internally. Clinical and experimental research suggests ingesting lavender essential oil to calm the nervous system and promote healthy relaxation and sleep. The soft gel also contains lemon balm, passion flower, chamomile, L-theanine, and tart cherry. All these ingredients are encased in a vegetarian soft gel and work together to create a natural formula that can encourage restful sleep without leaving you feeling groggy the next day. So while all ingredients in the soft gel play a special role in their calming, relaxing effects, let's take a look into two particular, the L-theanine and the tart cherry extract. So L-theanine is a non-protein amino acid found naturally in green tea, black tea, and some mushrooms. L-theanine has the unique ability to promote relaxation without causing drowsiness. It has been studied for its calming effects on the nervous system. Tart cherry extract is included in the soft gel for its positive effect on sleep, which is likely because of its tryptophan content. Tryptophan helps the body make melatonin. Did you hear that? Tryptophan helps the body make melatonin, a natural hormone your body produces as part of your circadian rhythm's synchronization of the sleep-wake cycle with day and night. Thus, melatonin is often referred to as the sleep hormone. Its production increases with evening darkness, promoting healthy sleep, while light causes the production to stop. Again, why it's so important to turn off those screens an hour before bed. because you're stopping your body's natural melatonin production as well. Every 100 grams of tart cherry extract contains about 9 milligrams of tryptophan. Plus, tart cherry also contains natural melatonin. The tart cherry extract in these soft gels is a simple, natural way to gently aid in your body's melatonin production and provide additional melatonin, ultimately supporting your sleep. Like, that is so awesome. That's why I love this new formulation. It has been such a game changer for me. Not to mention this product. The stick serves as a convenient way to apply doTERRA's Serenity Restful Blend topically. And the moisturizing emollients, isn't it funny how when you see some words you like cannot pronounce them no matter how hard you try? Okay, and the moisturizing emollients leave your skin feeling soft and non-greasy. You've already learned about the benefits of doTERRA Serenity, so that's that oil blend. But this stick also includes valerian, an herb that's native to Asia and Europe, but also found in North America. The plant's root is used for different purposes because it contains multiple compounds that may impact the human brain and body. The addition of valerian supports and enhances the effect of the stick and the essential oil blend, making the overall results of the doTERRA Serenity Restful Blend even more powerful and soothing. And it smells really good. They did an amazing job with that. So I am not seeing, because this is not. So I'm going to skip this slide because I do not have in my printed, and hopefully if you watched Dr. O's video in my short video, you got to see the epigenetics and sleep. So I'm wondering if they just didn't update the slide. So what's here? Is there a video? Oh, there's a video. Well, I'll let you listen in on this one then. It's probably Dr. Nicole Stevens.
So when my amazing team and I were designing this trial, we wanted to study the power of the different parts of the system, as well as the entire system, how it worked together. So we had our trial participants track their sleep as is, no intervention, for 1 week. Then, for 1 week, just diffuse the oil alone in our awesome Volo diffuser. For 1 week, we had them diffuse the oils plus use the stick topically. So we started to combine that a little bit and stack it. And then for 4 weeks, we had them use all 3 products together. Now, why 4 weeks on the system? Well, research suggests it may take as much as 3 weeks for internal lavender to start to build up and work in our systems to its maximum potential. So we recruited 45 healthy people for this study. We assigned them wearable trackers. We measured multiple endpoints, including their sleep amounts and sleep quality, blood markers, subjective surveys, safety markers, and even effects clear down at the cellular level. Now, one of the most important outcomes of this clinical research is, of course, safety. As you just heard, doTERRA is not only a leader in purity and efficacy, but also in safety. That is one of the doTERRA differences. We check liver enzymes, kidney function, blood and urine markers, and we collect feedback from our participants every time we do a trial. For the Serenity system, no significant changes occurred in any of our safety markers, and no serious adverse events were reported from any of our participants. That's what we want to see. Right? We care very deeply about your safety. So now if you get the question, are the Serenity products safe? You can answer with confidence, yes, backed by data. Just one more way doTERRA is stepping through that door and locking it behind us. Now, minutes of sleep and sleep score were important indicators of how our participants were doing in the trial. The sleep score is an algorithm developed by the makers of the wearable device company that we were using. It combines a sleep amount and sleep quality into a single number. Both the minutes of sleep and the sleep score increased for our participants throughout the trial. Now, these increases weren't hours of extra sleep per night. There's really no magic switch for that, but certainly minutes. And when we're talking about sleep, every minute counts. And we're going to talk a little bit more about why that is, and you'll see it in the data. But the bigger and more important question is, what did those increases actually mean for the participants in the study? To answer that question, we used validated clinical research surveys that asked our participants questions about how better sleep made them function. At the end of the day, that's really what we wanted to see improve. On the Leeds Sleep Evaluation Questionnaire, or LSEQ, that you might see in the literature if you're reading about sleep, we asked participants how easily they were able to fall asleep, how they felt when they woke up, how tired or energetic they felt during the day. In every measure, using the Serenity Sleep System improved how participants felt before, during, and after sleep, and throughout the day. In many categories, the change was dramatic, like feeling less restless during their sleep and feeling refreshed when they woke up. On the Short Form 20, or SF20 questionnaire, participants were asked about their quality of life. Things like whether discomfort prevented them from performing tasks, or whether they felt down, whether they felt calm and relaxed. In every measure, guess what we saw? Increase. In some cases, again, this was dramatic. I dare say, life-changing for someone who now feels like they can live life rather than stumbling through their day like a half-asleep zombie. On the functional outcomes of sleep questionnaire, the FOSQ, we asked participants about how sleep impacted their ability to perform daily tasks, like driving, doing paperwork, or participating in social events. Again, in every measure, we saw improvements in how participants perceived their sleep. People just functioned better in every aspect of their life that we could measure. Now, not only did we show improvements in subjective data, but objectively, we could see the improvement in participants' well-being. Now, these data are still being analyzed. Again, we're giving you a very hot off the press sneak peek, but we're going to have more information for you in the coming months. I wanted to show you some interesting trends we're seeing in our participants. During the trial with the Serenity system, our participants spent less time sedentary. Active minutes per day increased. And in turn, participants were burning more calories when they were using the sleep system. I'll be honest, we weren't actually even expecting this, but it's no surprise, right? When participants, for example, in the week they were using the diffused oil and the stick, they burned an average of 500 calories more per day from being active. Who knew? Well, we knew, but is it possible that sleeping better leads to more energy, which naturally encourages your body to move? When we feel better, so often we do better. This is proof positive that when people sleep better, we're influencing other areas of the wellness pyramid. It is all connected. Now, after reviewing this data, we began to do some subgroup analyses as well. We realized something very important that applies to all of us. Some of us believe we may be getting a good night of sleep, but in fact we're not. While everyone accepted into the study was screened and their self-reported sleep habits were good, once we tracked how they actually slept, we saw more than half of our participant population were irregular, late sleepers. In the subgroup analysis, we categorized participants into regular or irregular sleepers based on their sleep-wake patterns, from what the wearable device was telling us. Regular sleepers varied less than 2 hours in their bedtimes and wake times. Irregular sleepers varied more than 2 hours. Early or late sleepers were categorized based on whether they went to bed before midnight most nights or after midnight most nights. Research shows that variable sleep-wake patterns can affect daytime sleepiness, focus, energy, even personality. This indicates that as a society, we have some work to do. Okay, I won't ask for a raise of hands. Which of these categories fits us? And which one do we aspire to be? Now, down at a cellular level, what does better sleep do for our bodies? We know that sleep is strongly correlated with our inflammatory response. So we wanted to see if using the Serenity products would affect this in healthy people. One common way we measure inflammatory response is by looking at something called C-reactive protein, or CRP. This protein is elevated in times of stress, poor sleep, even exercise. Our C-reactive protein levels go up and down normally as we go through life, but optimally, we want this C-reactive protein level generally low. From the beginning to the end of the study, we saw drops in the C-reactive protein of our participants. Yeah, you can cheer for that. I like it. Why did our people feel awesome when they were using these products? Why could they get out and be more active? Because their biology, the markers in their blood, in their cells, were showing that their bodies were working better. This is something that can benefit every human being. Thank you. One person's like, yeah, that's me. As we've shown year after year, doTERRA essential oils have biological activity because we have the purest, most consistent, most efficacious oils on the planet.
Pretty awesome, right? Oh my goodness. I got to see her at convention last year, and that was just mind-blowing. So here's another one about epigenetics. For those of you that are not familiar with this word, and you're going to hear doTERRA talking a lot about epigenetics because this is like the forefront of essential oils and how they're reacting within the body. And I think this is that next step, again, that separates doTERRA from every other essential oil company on the market because no one else is doing what doTERRA is doing, thus making them the #1 requested essential oil.
Your body is made of 30 trillion human cells. That means you have 30 times more human cells in your body than there are stars in the Milky Way. Incredible, right? Your cells are the building blocks of life and health. Every cell in your body has the same DNA, the same genetic blueprint. A skin cell, a heart cell, and a cell in your eye all contain the same DNA. But how genes are expressed in a cell determines its function in the body. Other cells produce the energy we need to breathe and move. Some cells send signals, while others release hormones to regulate everything from our heartbeat to our thoughts and emotions. So how does each cell know what to do? The genes within each cell turn on or off, like a light switch, giving instructions for how the cell functions. In fact, this works more like a dimmer switch. Your gene expression can be dialed up or down. Here's a simple example. Your gene expression determines your eye color through the genes OCA2, HERC2, and IRF4. Most cells in the body have these genes turned off because they're not needed. But in the eye, they are turned on and play a critical role. Your metabolism is a little more involved. Metabolic function is controlled by 68 different metabolic pathways and over 2,325 individual genes that can be dialed up or down. This is where it gets exciting. Developing science is proving that you can influence your gene expression. How? With the lifestyle choices you make every day. While genes are expressed in each one of us based on a set of overarching instructions, these instructions are not set in stone. They are modified based on our choices. And we can actually measure the genetic responses to our choices with clinical trials. Through blood testing, gene markers are mapped and their expression measured, showing if they are on or off, as well as the degree to which they're dialed up or down. This opens incredible pathways for discovering how your lifestyle and product choices can change your gene expression, which in turn can impact our health and wellness.
See if, oh, so now we have another video. I don't think it's the same one. Oh, Dr. Russell Orglathorpe.
Now, the video we just watched was an introduction to the science of gene expression. I want you to hold on to that concept that we all have the potential to alter our genetic futures by the way we choose to live our lives and the products we put in our bodies. We've said this many times before on this very stage. And today, I'm going to show you how our new Serenity sleep system influenced the genes of our Serenity clinical trial subjects. This epigenetic study was part of the larger Serenity sleep system trial just discussed. You'll recall Dr. Stevens shared that the design was a before and after type of sample collection. To measure the epigenetic outcomes, we collected blood samples at the beginning and then at the very end of the trial. From those blood samples, we can see what each person's epigenetic profile looks like before using the sleep system, and then compare that to the after patterns in their genetic profile. The only thing that changed during the trial is that they were using the Serenity sleep system. Here's what a genome-wide epigenetic screen of more than 10,000 genes looks like. This is called a volcano plot. Don't worry, you don't need to remember this, okay? And each one of these dots represents one of the genes we studied. This is our data. The ones you see in red are genes that were dialed down, just like that dimmer switch we saw a moment ago. And the ones in green are the genes that were dialed up or turned on, not just a little. These genes were modulated more than 5-fold. That's like turning up that dimmer switch to fully light up the room. Let me show you the data on the 3 most interesting genes in our data set. The first gene I want to tell you about is DNM3TB. Just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? DNM3TB. Oh, it's just beautiful. This gene is expressed diurnally, meaning daily, and is involved in maintaining our healthy circadian rhythms. In our clinical trial, we saw DNM3TB expression statistically significantly increased after 6 weeks using the Serenity sleep system as part of their daily sleep routine. As I said, DNM3TB, there it is again, just rolls right off the tongue, is a gene that supports healthy sleep through the maintenance of circadian rhythms. Circadian rhythms are critical to our sleep cycles. The adjusted p-value for this gene is 0.03, which means we are 97% assured that the result we saw in our study is due to the use of the Serenity sleep system and nothing else. Okay, you ready for the next gene? This one I think you're gonna like. All right, stick with me. This next gene is called LRP5. Sound familiar? No, not our loyalty rewards program. But just as valuable, LRP5 is better known as LDL receptor-related protein 5. This gene is involved in our metabolic function, and its expression is affected by the quality of our sleep. LRP5 gene expression was significantly increased by using the doTERRA Serenity Sleep System. LRP5 expression is increased when sleep is improved, and it supports glucose metabolism and cellular fitness. The adjusted p-value here is again 0.03. That number is my Christmas morning. Okay, and now my favorite, the last gene I'm going to share with you, I affectionately call ZIMZ2. ZMIZ2, ZIMZ2, is a gene that is involved in regulating the STAT family of signaling transcription factors. The STAT family is one of the most important of all the signaling pathways in the human body and is involved in immunity, inflammatory response, and sleep. ZIMZ2 has also been associated with circadian rhythms, and in particular, the ease of waking up after sleep. ZIMZ2 was significantly upregulated in healthy subjects using the doTERRA Serenity Sleep System. In other words, using doTERRA Serenity Sleep System may lead to increased expression of ZIMZ2. This data is evidence of what I shared with you yesterday. This is not just about the amount of sleep you can get by using the Serenity Sleep System. It's about the quality of sleep you get. And that quality of sleep is determined by what changes happen in your body and in your cells that improve your health and wellness. Another way to say this: using the new Serenity Sleep System is not only about increasing our sleep length and quality in subjective terms. This system will help you to get what your body requires from sleep to be more healthy.
I think that last statement is very well said.
Now, the video we just watched
Oh, I wonder if
was
this
an
is a repeat.
introduction to the science.
Okay. So that in that short 15-minute video that I shared with you, and Dr. O was presenting the aging of the brain and how the immune system works better. So that is information he shared after this. So the videos you just watched with Dr. Nicole Stevens and Dr. O happened in September of 2023. And then my video was just shared as of March of 2024. So giving you a little bit of a timeline. And so there's going to be more and more coming out. And so if you really like the science and you really want to dig into that, like definitely let us know. And you can be on like that list of like as soon as, you know, because convention will happen again in September of 2024, and there's going to be even more science and research. And so if you don't want to go to convention, you can always watch the online version and then just really, you know, learn from all the doctors and scientists that will be presenting on stage. So for those of you that like that stuff, I like it. I have a hard time understanding it, but I got the gist, especially within that short video of what Dr. O shared. But moving into the fact that if you caught this in all of the videos, it was all about a system. It's not about one product. And I said that in my 15-minute video too. This is a system that needs to be used all together in order to get the results that they're sharing. So as we talk about this system, each of these products can be a powerful tool for natural support on their own, but they're most powerful and effective when used together. When paired with smart sleep hygiene habits, like we just learned about, you can count on the doTERRA 3-step system to help you get the rest you deserve. The first is the Serenity Restful Blend. The second is the doTERRA Serenity Stick plus the Valorin. And the third is going to be the soft gels. You have more than one way to implement these steps, and here's an example. About 30 minutes before bed, take the soft gel and then diffuse the essential oil blend. Start your bedtime routine enjoying the aroma of this doTERRA Serenity as you wind down. As you climb into bed, apply the stick, rubbing it into your neck, shoulders, and wrists. Finish by taking a few breaths, inhale of the freshly applied aroma, basking in its calmness, grounding scent. Then simply close your eyes and drift off to sleep for a deep, rejuvenating sleep. Another example would be to diffuse serenity throughout the evening. As it gets closer to bedtime, put a drop in your hands, cup them over your mouth and nose, and take a few deep breaths. Taking a moment with the aroma to reset and enter the right state of mind for your wind down. Proceed to your bedtime routine, finishing it off with the stick being applied to the bottoms of your feet and the back of your neck. Swallow a soft gel as you settle into bed for a restful night. You can try these examples or apply the 3-step system in a way that works for you. So for me, because my husband tends to go to bed before I do, as I stay up a little bit longer with the boys, I actually will start the diffuser in our bedroom, and then he'll go to bed. And then I take the soft gel as I'm prepping for bed, brushing my teeth, taking my contacts out, getting the boys to bed, put the Serenity stick on as I'm heading down the hall to go to bed. And that's how I do it. And it's just become a routine for me to do it that way. But definitely create a way that works for you that you're able to use. Even if you have to stick sticky notes on the mirror, don't forget your soft gel. You know what I mean? Like, just create something that works for you. To make sure that you're implementing this, because it will take you a few weeks to kind of like, okay, I've got to make this a routine. Now, as mentioned earlier, we wanted to talk about pets because there is a lot of stuff on Google. You just Google it and you can find some good and some bad on pretty much anything. So with pets, remember your environment is also your pet's environment. If you have pets, many common household cleaners are filled with synthetic chemicals and toxins. So what you use to clean your floors is what your furry friends walk, nap, and play on. And this is why I said really becoming aware of what we're using that not only affects us, but it's affecting everyone in the home. There's also your air to consider. You may be surprised to discover many fragrance products, from candles and air fresheners, plug-ins to perfumes, are filled with artificial chemicals and toxins. You breathe it in, and so does your pet. And how many times stronger is your pet's sense of smell, right? Like, it's crazy. It's no wonder pets end up with a lot of respiratory and skin issues. So there's a few tips for diffusing oils around pets. Use only 3 to 4 drops of an essential oil in a water-based diffuser. Pure essential oils are incredibly potent, so just a few drops can fill a whole room with their aroma. Ensure that the essential oil is safe to use around your pets. If your vet doesn't know, doTERRA has a veterinarian advisory board, and so I follow Dr. Janet Rourke. And there's even some essential oil pet books that I could even recommend if you would like that, as far as what essential oils that you might want to avoid and which ones are safe. We've had our dogs for 11 years and I've diffused everything that doTERRA has by following these, guidelines. So position your diffuser in a place where the pet can't knock it over. Don't diffuse it over their bedding. Don't diffuse it over their food and water. And if you're going to diffuse, leave the door open so that they can leave the room if they don't like it. Not everybody likes what we like, right? Last, Essential Oils and Sleep ebook. Feel free to take your phone out. If you don't know how to scan QR codes, I have an Android, so I'm not sure what they do with Apple. But I just open my camera and I hold the picture button over the QR code. There'll be a link that pops up. Click on the link and you can download it to your phone. Or you can go to doTERRA.com and search sleep ebook, and you can easily find it there as well, especially if you want to print it off. Now, for the doTERRA difference, we're going to shift topics. Like I said, I really want to cover this for a moment and discuss what makes doTERRA different. What makes this community different is purity, pure products, pure intentions, pure business practices, and pure love for humanity. So, do they have the video here for me to play? Was what I was going to see. Okay, it looks like it.
What really needs to be understood is that our model is really focused on 2 things. It's focused on getting the best and helping the most. When we get the best oils and we help the most people, that's a formula for success.
I just think the whole planet is being lifted by this company, and it makes it so easy to be passionate because I know that every step of the way, it's lifting someone.
There's good
It's
happening.
blessing someone. It's a light to someone.
Something that grew out of just a love for the oils, and it's given me so much more hope for the future.
We are interested in having the purest, highest quality essential oils that you can have, but in the process, we're also very interested in doing good in the world.
We chose to be a person-to-person model because we knew that this would empower people to step into their full potential and truly make the world a better place as they pursue what's pure to them.
Let's see, let me back out of this a little bit. Okay. With this video, it's a little different, so it's harder to, okay, so the doTERRA difference. I want to touch base a little bit on the co-impact sourcing, and I think they have a video here. Maybe not. No, they don't. So I will have to find this video. Oh, wait, no, it is here. But this might be a little bit different. So before I play that video, I'm just going to read through this quick. So doTERRA is committed to sourcing the best and helping the most, a commitment known as co-impact sourcing. So for those of you that may not be familiar with that term, this means that doTERRA sources pure essential oils in a way that is sustainable, ethical, and responsible for individuals and communities around the globe, as well as environment. doTERRA also monitors an essential oil's purity starting at its source all the way till it is bottled. doTERRA cuts out the middleman, which is, I'm all about that, working directly with farmers and harvesters and providing fair, on-time wages to develop long-term partnerships. And you would be shocked if you actually read up on a lot of how essential oils are sourced. I think, yeah, it's kind of like if you watch videos on your food, you're just kind of disgusted. Yeah, that's kind of that. Many of the growers in the doTERRA Global Botanical Network live in developing countries and need fair, consistent compensation to support their families and run their businesses. Along with providing compensation to growers and distillers, doTERRA supports co-impact sourcing initiatives that are designed to improve quality of life for those who partner with the company. With these initiatives, doTERRA helps bring much-needed services like schools, new equipment and machinery, and clean water to growing and distilling communities worldwide. Tens of thousands of individuals and families benefit from the innovative and empowering co-impact sourcing model. So hopefully this shows you a little bit of that with the Hawaiian sandalwood. We actually got to go on a trip to Hawaii with doTERRA and got to plant some of the Hawaiian sandalwood trees. We got to see how they distill the essential oil from the tree and just learn a lot about of the culture in Hawaii. And that was really impactful. I'm going to see if I can get this bigger for you.
I've always believed that in order for a forest to be productive, it needed to be protected, but that in order for it to be protected, it needed to be productive. The very limited amount of harvesting and distillation work that we are doing in order to generate the great oils that Nayo and Iliahi produce. For Iliahi, about 250 trees a year.
Meanwhile, we're planting how many Iliahi a year?
We're planting about 30,000 Iliahi a year.
So it's a pretty good ratio.
and the resources that we get from the oil are put right back into this forest.
We are about halfway up the mountain, and this is exciting because we're visiting basically 2 years to the day. We hosted 1,000 wellness advocates from all over the world over 2 days, and they came up to this area and did a massive planting project. And these are koa trees, which are native species trees to this area. They're incredibly hardy trees. You can see they grow very fast, which is amazing. But next to all the koa trees was also planted an iliahi, or Hawaiian sandalwood tree. The sandalwood tree is a hemiparasitic tree. It needs a host to grow next to it to provide it nutrients and support through its root system. This is exciting to see the growth and progress. Just in 2 years, all the trees that have grown, that are starting to regenerate and redevelop, is really gonna bring this forest back to life.
Hiki mai kala, hiki mai keola, pano kala, pai keola. Kuni ka mauna I kala ie, o ai ale ale lai wailua. Kele I mai lao ka ulai ke kai e a o ka malama oni I hau amali e ua pae ka inu waila ke inu maila na la o na wei ke kai no na we ka hala no puna e ka wahine no ka lua no hiki la wei.
We like to plant a koa and an iliahi in the same hole, but you want to give them at least 3 feet between each other. We have good survival. Our wonderful wellness advocate planters have their survival rate for their trees is over 90%.
When you plant them, if you wanna, on your phone, either on Google Maps or on the Maps Apple app, you can drop a pin. Okay. So then that's a fun way to remember exactly where you planted it.
To be able to plant this here and in Hawaii and just keeping it alive and keeping it going and being a part of it, it's so meaningful. It's beautiful. I'm excited to see what this will look like in a few years. So excited to come back.
Really the theme of our trip has been Ola, and which means life. And so as we planted the koa and the iliahi, we said Ola. And just to be part of this experience and to be part of doTERRA in this kind of a way on our aina, to give back to our aina.
That's what, taking on that word and sharing it with the world. And that's the deepest meaning. Like, we love from the heart. We take care from the heart, and regardless of what it is, that's how deep Malama is to us. Yes. To me, the way I was raised. So
opportunities to reconnect like this. We have the tomorrow piece, and in the tomorrow piece there's hope. There's hope that our children can live here and thrive here. There's hope that our plants can be here and thrive here, that our birds will come back, that the songs of our ancestors will return. And that's the tomorrow piece that, you know, being here really allows us to see and feel.
I gotta find my PowerPoint. So what did you guys think of that? The cool part about that slide was definitely that was the same trip that my daughter and I and a friend of ours got to go on, because I recognized the shirts. And so that was a lot of fun, definitely going on that trip. So another slide I just wanted to highlight, and interestingly enough, Madagascar vanilla, which we source this in Madagascar, of course. This is also another awesome one for sleep. If you're looking to maybe add a little bit more vanilla to your Serenity, or, you know, you want to change it up a bit, you know, and add a different aroma in it as well. So a little bit about Madagascar. So again, focusing on this co-impact sourcing. So as we finally we come to doTERRA's wellness advocates, those of us who share, teach about, and sell doTERRA essential oils, including me. doTERRA was extremely deliberate when choosing a direct selling model. Essential oils are incredibly experimental, and most people find there's a learning curve when they're first getting started. Having someone personally introduce you and teach you how to use your essential oils is valuable. You could say it's essential, right? Wellness advocates like myself should provide a robust, supportive customer service experience that also is warm and welcoming. And I really hope I did that for you guys as you watch this. We're real people who can always serve as our first point of contact when you're learning how to use your products or need help. We like built-in partnerships or personal guides on your wellness journey. So now I'd like to jump into, like, if you've watched this and you're like, okay, in Erin's first video, in this long video, I definitely would like to give this product system a try. So I just kind of want to go over a few of the behind the scenes things on your first purchase that, you know, and this again is a learning curve. Like, the person sharing this video with you might be super nervous to ask you about purchasing. Like, I even struggle with that sometimes, especially when it's your close family and friends. You're like, oh, I didn't really want to ask you to have to buy it, but do you want to buy it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you ask in an authentic way? So please don't hesitate. If you really want to try this, just tell your person, I want to try this. And then, can you get me the best deal? You know, none of us want to see you pay retail, and there's no reason for that, especially since doTERRA offers the wholesale pricing, which is 25% off the retail, to anyone. There's no membership fee at all. The best part is you get tapped into our community. I like to put together videos and education. I teach live in our Facebook group. We're working on online trainings and some different fun virtual assistant, like hold your hand automations. And so there's a lot of things coming down the pipe into helping you learn how to use what you're going to get. And so I also wanted to point out that if you do want to get some products, just like in my first video, I mentioned you could start off with one of the sleep systems, you know, you could just start off with one. You could do two. You could do one and add a diffuser and some essential oils. You could try some of doTERRA's other wellness products. Like, maybe you're like, you know what? I have issues with my digestion. I have concerns about my immunity. I want to try a good multivitamin and omega. You know, like, we can set you up with that first order. And the best part is if you do this minimum, what's called 100 PV, it's product value, doesn't really matter. Those of us that are helping you will know that that matters, but we can get you free shipping. If you want to bump your order up a little bit higher to a 150 product value, then you can get a free diffuser with that. So there's always different promotions. And now you even get an additional free gift. If you don't want the diffuser, you could pick a diffuser, you could pick this, you could pick this if you want to do that 150. And so I just kind of wanted to mention that. And the other cool part is if you decide to share, so here's that cool diffuser you can get free. If you decide you want to share this video with a friend, I highly recommend it. Just because everybody prefers, I don't know about you, but me, like, yes, I like it if my doctor is going to recommend something, but honestly, I'm going to probably do a little bit of research on my own. Is it holistic? Is it coming from a good source? You know, is it synthetic? Like, I'm really trying to make better choices for me and my family. And so, yes, I do like doctor recommendations. But I also will go based upon what my friend suggests. If this is working for my friend, I'll do a little bit of research and then I'll probably jump in and buy it, even if it's just to support them. So keeping that in mind as well. On this slide, again, like I said, I did mention the 25% off, free shipping if you want to do a certain size order, a free gift if you want to do a 150 order. And then if you want to share with your friends, the video and they decide to buy, you actually get what's called a refer a friend link in your account. If you choose to share that link with your friend, now, if you want a customized link, we can help you customize it. And I can show you how to do that, or the person who shared this with you, you know, your leader, we're going to call her, your sponsor, can help you learn how to do that as well. But then you can earn what's called doTERRA dollars, and then you can redeem those doTERRA dollars for free doTERRA product. Basically like a hostess program, only you didn't have to host a class. Like, I love having my friends over, but sometimes I don't want to clean my house and I don't want to ask my friends to come to a class. Like, even I struggle with those things. But anyway, so anyone who has a doTERRA discount can actually earn free product by sharing their referral link. And then we're here to continue educating them because you're a part of our community. And then there's another part of doTERRA, and this is how I shop. So how many of you go to like Sam's Club or Costco? You love it when you get the Kohl's 30% discount. I'm trying to think of what other discount programs I've been a part of. But anyway, when you buy monthly, then you earn free doTERRA points, which just like those doTERRA dollars, you earn points or doTERRA dollars that you can then redeem. So for example, I've been with doTERRA for over a year now, ordering, obviously 10 years. And so I've been at this 30% discount. So not only do I save 25% because I have the wholesale account, but now I'm earning an additional 30% back on any order that I place with doTERRA because I order monthly. Now you can cancel it at any point, you can sign up at any point, but then you're going to start back at 10%. So just know that like it takes time to work up to that 30%. And so if you get there, and I've often had some of our customers be like, I don't know what to order, you know, and again, go back to that wellness pyramid, the wellness lifestyle, and look at the different categories. What are different things that you're buying from your grocery store, buying online from Amazon, buying here or there that doTERRA already offers? To buy from yourself and earn 30% in free product totally makes it worth it when you really figure it out down to the dollar. There's times I've cashed in 1,000 points and gotten $1,000 in free doTERRA product because those points accumulate. So that would be my encouragement. If you want to learn more about this, definitely ask. And then what type of a person, you know, are you? Again, as I think about that first video that someone shared with you, which led you to this video. And if you're still watching this, thank you. So I'm just going to mention there's 3 types of people that typically come to doTERRA. Most are customers. They just come here for the discount, come here for the perks for the monthly ordering, and to just live a more holistic lifestyle. Then there's some of you, a smaller piece of the pie, that are like, so-and-so should really hear this. So-and-so would really like this. I would like to share with my friend and earn some free product as well. Basically like hosting a class. Only this can be online, in person, however you choose to do it. And you can earn a small commission in either free products or even just enough to get your oils paid for. We've got several in our team that have just shared doTERRA with enough people that their monthly order is paid for. And I would love to help you get there if that's something that is a goal for you. Then there's those of you that started off as a customer like myself, who a year later ended up sharing the oils with a few people and was like, I can make money off of this. Like, Not that that's a bad thing, because we all have jobs, we all have to pay our bills, but you ended up naturally turning into a builder. And you ended up sharing doTERRA for 9 years and have built yourself a really fun organization that you just love teaching for, love hanging out with. And so it's weird to call myself a builder, but like I really do enjoy sharing doTERRA and I really do enjoy using the products and I love helping other people get to this point too. So if that's you, don't hesitate to tell your person again, because they're probably going to be shy to ask you, but just tell them, I would like to share this. I would really like to earn enough money to go on a trip with my family. I mean, that's always just been a goal for me, just to get off the farm and go somewhere warm in the winter months. And so that's what my doTERRA money goes for. I put it aside to go on a trip. And so we do that once a year, and that's my goal. So anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed the class. I should probably stop my sharing as I like just seem to leave the screen up there. But thank you for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed the information, and don't hesitate to reach out and let us know how we can go forward with you from here. So have a fabulous day.